No, Manje, who said? Oh, who said you must put? That's not the story. That's not the story. That's not the story. That's your pap. I'm sorry, people. My invisible me here. Kakulu, hawa, ufaka this picture. Auntie bigger the name. Like Aibo. Are we surprised? No. Anyways, guys, hello, honorable members of the clan. I'm trying to go to bed early today, but y'all are like, Clancy, you're not going to bed tonight without you covering the Shadrack Sibiya matter, because his application was dismissed with cost by a full bench. So I was like looking around and saying, hey, what is a full bench of a court? And it turns out that a full bench of a court is where there are 3 or 5 or 7 or 9 judges, even 11 judges. And the reason why the number needs to be odd, so that there is what you would call a majority. Like out of the 3, 2 would agree and the other one might not agree, type of situation. Same goes with 5. 3 will agree, 2 might not. Then there's 7, all that stuff. So that a fair decision has been delivered type of situation. And in the Constitutional Court, you're going to have 11 Constitutional Court justices, which includes the Chief Justice. In the Supreme Court of Appeal, you are going to have 9 Supreme Court of Appeal justices. And then in the High Court, that's where you have 3 or 5 judges that make a full bench. So when you ask for a full bench and all 3 of them say, yes, we agree with you, or no, we don't agree with you, that judgment is called a unanimous judgment. So that means everybody agreed with each other. So it looks like that's exactly what happened with Shadrack Sibiya. Now, Shadrack Sibiya, I think he did make a mistake, a huge mistake, by trying to challenge his reinstatement in the midst of so many things that have been exposed. And I'm talking serious things, so much so that literally, when that accusation was made by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, those dockets were actually found, 121 of them, in Shadrack Sibiya's office, and had to be taken back to the PKTT. So of course the justices, they needed to look at that like, listen, we're talking about people's lives here, people's lives that are already gone, people's lives that should be gone, and people's lives that ought to be gone or still to be gone type of situation. And it looks like the caretaker, of course they're not going to say it like that, and of course it's an assumption, or not an assumption, it is an allegation, right? It's an allegation. So allegedly, with this individual holding these dockets in their chest and close to their chest, simply means this is defeating the ends of justice. Not only defeating the end of justice, also concealing the real perpetrators and endangering the lives of those people that are already at targets. So all these things, as a judge, I'll be like, I'm not going to be responsible. I'm not going to be responsible. My judgment is clear on my side for my own conscience, is that you are dismissed with cost. The police commissioner, the National Police Commissioner, Fani Masemula, was rational in his decision to place you under whatever it is, the home stuff. But now it's a suspension because the court is like, you are now suspended. So now it's opening a whole lot of other doors that Sibiya will have to go through. First, he's summoned to appear in the ad hoc committee, the parliamentary ad hoc committee. He's also summoned to appear in the Madlanga Commission. Now he is suspended. That means there has to be a disciplinary commission on him for these allegations. And it was quite interesting that he went to court because he felt that there are processes that are already taking place, and he heavily relied on the Madlanga Commission rather than the parliamentary one. I'm not quite sure who he doesn't trust in parliament, but trusts more the Madlanga Commission. Then I thought about it. It's because it is not legally binding. You can say whatever you want to say about Sibiya there. He might come and say, yeah, did it. So what? So what? No consequences at the end of the day. So I think maybe that's why. Versus the parliamentary head of committee. And I tried to check, what consequences does the ad hoc committee's recommendation have? And from what I understand is they can actually open a case against the accused people or people that are implicated. Because at the end of the day, we are talking about justice and constitutional development department that is responsible for our rule of law. So they can't do it like the commission that just make recommendations to the president. So if Parliament feels like, yeah, if the president is also implicated, Mr. President, first thing that we need from you is a resignation letter on the table, no later than midnight after the findings have come out. And two, the police should pounce. They should pounce in no less than 24 hours. Or he hands himself over to the police. So that kind of gives me comfort. That gives me some kind of hope that it might happen. But at the same time, we must not fool ourselves, guys. We must not fool ourselves, because I'm not sure who said this so perfectly. Was it Gwedamandashe? No, it was Panyaza Lusufi who said not the GNU partners, but they were also included. He said that political parties are in a polygamous marriage with the ANC. I was like, say that again, sir. Yeah, polygamous relationship or marriage with the ANC. The ANC cracks the whip, and all the wives, they bow to the ANC. I mean, hello, what happened in February with the VAT increase? What happened? What is happening with the national dialogue? Who's busy yapping and say, hey, all these nonsense? Illegal foreigners? Yeah, sorry, yeah. So in other words, this is going to be payback time. You know how they say, I don't know if you used to watch Gossip Girl back in 2007, 8, 9 or so. There was a part that Bree said, I can't remember to who. She looked her in the eye and said, you know, one thing about the devil, right? He gives. And he gives for free. So you think. But one day he comes back to collect. And he doesn't stop collecting. So all these positions of power, deputy ministers, and all that stuff, it will come in handy when it's time to protect the ANC comrades from the ad hoc committee recommendations. Because they're going to have to vote. And remember, in Parliament, voting is a secret. So you will never know which MP said no. That means no arrests. You'll never know. And you'll never know who are the ones that are going to betray the people of South Africa and the rule of law and the constitution that, by the way, they swore on they were going to protect, defend, and adhere to. Yeah, all of them. So I am not hopeful on that part because there are very dishonest people in there. And we must also not forget that Nkanka Mkhwanazi on the 6th of July, he also mentioned members of parliament that are implicated being linked or friends or working with syndicates, all the types of syndicates that he mentioned. So how do you think they're going to vote? Yeah, that's my worry at this point. But clearly, the Madanga Commission of Inquiry, useless. Useless, and it's going to be a money waster and a time waster. And I don't know why would we even bother. I will follow it, but again, I'll be having that thing behind my head. Why bother? I don't know. Because we're not going to get anything out of it. But let's see with the ad hoc committee, what can we get out of it? Other than that, guys, those are my thoughts about Mr. Sibiya, who was scathing on Mr. Mkwanazi. And now his case is dismissed with cost. And I'm not quite sure how it works when you had a full bench at a lower court, if that gives them grounds to appeal. Because if you appeal, obviously another full bench is going to sit. Oh, it's a mess. I think if it was one judge, then he can appeal. But I don't know, somebody who can please educate us, I'll highly appreciate it. Other than that, guys, let me leave it right here. I am feeling so sleepy. I must say good night, and thank you all so much for tolerating me today. And why? Invisible me, why? Wow, Papa. Oh yeah, Papa, yes. I know. I mean, it's Bongo says it all. Like, are you surprised? Are you surprised, honorable member? Are you surprised? Are you surprised at this? Are you surprised? I'm not. Makes sense now. I mean, it always has. Bye.